Good afternoon. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK.
And my name is Louise Golden from Clarity Crafts in the UK as well.
Welcome to another episode of Clarity Social TV. I hope everybody's well. I think we're a little bit out of sync this week.
We are a little bit out of sync,
because of the extended bank holiday. We had Good Friday and then we had Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK. So today sort of feels like a Monday.
Yeah, but then you have to think, oh no, it's Tuesday. I've got to do Groovi Tuesday.
It's Groovi Tuesday and it's 2:00. And so technically it's like a short week, working week, so to speak.
I know,
for
4-day
4
week,
days.
isn't it? That's going to keep us out of sync all week, isn't it?
I think it really, really will. But we've got lots to keep you company over the coming week. Louise kept you company this morning in Groovi Tuesday, which was great. I mean, that was lovely. I had it on in the background. I was listening. And the sound is great. Apologies. Yeah, lovely. Grace is in the room with you this afternoon. So if you've got any questions, she's there to help all the way from Brooklyn. There we go. Lovely. Jane and Catherine are in the room. Here comes everybody. I just need to take that out, the glare. There we go. So you had a lovely session this morning for Groovi Tuesday, working with Barbara's Japanese tile plates.
I know, they're nice plates, they are. They're
really, really beautiful.
Very versatile and adaptable to whatever project you want to make, whether you want to make a bigger one or a small one. So
if you missed that, you can go back and watch via our Clarity Stamp or Clarity Craft YouTube page. All of the episodes of Groovi Tuesday are there. So that's today. Then Thursday evening at 7:00, it's Back in the Shack with Barb and Grace all the way from New York. And then finally on Friday, 10 and 2, we've got the company of the lovely Deborah Wheeler again, who comes to visit us once a month. And I'm going to move that mouse. It's on the end button.
Just in case. That's a quick slide.
So there we go. So there's a lot to keep you company this week. And then next week, lots of exciting stuff next week.
Busy week next week.
It really, really is. So a little bit of housekeeping while our friends are pulling up a chair and getting comfortable. There's several ways in which you can order. You can either order via the claritycrafts.com website, or you can give the office a call if you're watching this live on Tuesday, the 22nd of April, 2025.
Gone quick.
Yeah. The office is open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. So the lovely call centre, Sue or Jazz or Pete are there to help you. We've currently got a couple of promotions running at the moment. A lot of the stuff that we're going to be sharing with you during the course of this hour, we're directing you to the claritycrafts.com website. However, over on our pergamano.com website, we've currently got 30% off across the whole website. Now, there are a few restrictions, but what you may find is that if you're looking at some of the products Louise is sharing us, have a look at the claritycrafts.com website, have a look at the price there. If you're a club member, you'll obviously get your discounts. However, over on the pergamano.com website, there's 30% off. And if you spend more than £50, you will receive a free gift of 20 sheets of A5 parchment.
Brilliant.
And that offer runs all the way up until the end of April. The other offer we currently have running, which many of you have taken advantage of, is our Easter deal.
Yes, that was
our fresh cut range of dies. So a lot of the design elements from either what Mel Turner, our good friend Mel, has illustrated, we've turned into dies. £3.
No,
that's it. There's no further club discounts, but it's a flat £3 for a large range of our fresh cut dies, and that runs up until midnight this evening. And many of you definitely sort of decided, I think, to go for some dies rather than some Easter eggs this year.
Yeah.
So there we go. So if I bring up some details on the screen, over the past couple of weeks, we've been focusing on a set of 6 handy tools, Pergamano tools, together with a little booklet. So on the top of the screen, you can see you've got that 5-digit number, 70486. you have an image of the product, a description, and then you've got your RRP, your saving, and your price that you will pay. So on this one, you've got an £11.98 saving, bringing the price down to £49.95. If you buy from the claritycraft.com website and you're a club member, you'll get your additional club discount on that as well. However, if you head over to the Pergamano website, there's no further club discounts because they are two completely separate websites. That brings the price down to £43.35.
Wow.
Okay, so £49.95, £43.35.
Two dies right there, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So the code is the same whether you go to the Pergamano or whether you go to the Clarity website. Just type that in the search bar, and then that will bring up the information, and you can decide which website you wish to buy from. So this is the Pergamano multi-needle tools, handy tools and tool guide. I'm going to bring up a full screen so you can see what you have in this collection. You have a series of 6 of our Pergamano multi-needle tools. We have, across the top, we've got the semi-star. Next to that, that lovely S shape is called a wave. Then we have the drop. Underneath that one, we have the lozenge, which is a series of 4 dots. Then we have our butterfly, and then finally we have the wing. So in addition to those 6 multi-needle tools, you're then going to get the handy tool guide, which I'm going to ask Louise to share with us on the overhead, because this was written by the lovely Linda Williams.
Yes.
And I will hand over to the lovely Louise now. I've waffled enough.
And now it's my turn.
There we go.
Here we are. So this is the handy tool guide from Linda Williams. So it's a really lovely booklet, and it has so many. You've got the pattern here, or here, sorry, the pattern here, and then Linda has created where you would put the white work. So it really is, it helps you, like the other books did in volume 1 and 2. This is a really handy little booklet just to take with you. You would photocopy this page, and then you would be able to use your tool. So this is the wing. So you would overhang your tool where the dots show on the pattern, and then you would get this lovely effect here once you have created the white work like Linda has. So you have the wing, and then you have the butterfly, same sort of deal. You've got the pattern here, and then how it's going to look once you've created the white work like Linda. Then you have the lozenge, so it gives you a little like what it looks like, and then Linda has created just where you need to emboss and where you need to perforate, so you can see here. So again with the lozenge, and then you turn the whole booklet over, so it really has used every space you can.
It has indeed.
And you've got the semi-star, so same thing, you have the pattern, and then we have the wave, and then the drop, and same sort of thing. So once you have created these, say you wanted to just create these as a template, what you'd be able to do then is, once you've created that template, and then you can have a play and see what you can create with all the white work as well. So it really is a handy little booklet. It's quite a few pages in there as well.
Because it is just literally the tip of the iceberg, isn't it, in relation to what you can do.
You could use, just by using this line here, there are so many ways where you could, say for example, Linda's done a lovely little bow here, but if you didn't want to cut these out, then you could loop them, like create a scallop or a star in between here, like Linda's done with this one. Could create a star here. So there's so many different ways that you can emboss. Linda just gives you an idea.
Yeah.
And then you can, once you feel confident and you've copied Linda's idea, then you can create your own and get adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
So,
definitely need to be adventurous when it comes to Groovi and parchment.
I know. So yeah, so that's a really handy booklet to have. You would just photocopy the different pages like I have. So you want to use as like a really thin paper, thin as you can get it really.
So the cheapest copy of paper really, isn't it?
Yeah, cheapest copy of paper really, just a nice thin one. And so you just photocopy the page. So I've done it right in the middle. and then you place your parchment over and just create the template.
Nice.
And then follow it, and we've done that in the last 2 weeks as well, haven't we?
We have. So this is our third week of looking at this collection of tools. So what reminds us, Louise, in week 1, we looked at which of the 2 tools?
We looked at the semi-star and the wave in the first 2 p.m. show.
Yeah.
And then last week we looked at the drop and the wing.
Okay.
And then this week we're going to look at the butterfly and the lozenge.
Okay, so if you're maybe tuning in for the first time, and this time you've come across a Clarity Social TV show, all of our shows are available to watch on catch up, so to speak. And there's several ways in which you can do that. You can go to the claritycrafts.com YouTube page, and you can go back to each of those episodes. Alternatively, if you go to the claritycrafts.com website, on the front of the homepage, there's a button that says Clarity TV. If you click into there, you'll find all the items that Louise is showcasing during the course of this hour. And then just above that, it will say catch up and craft, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
And you click in there and you can go back, and this goes all the way back to October of last year. So you can scroll all the way through, have a look at all the shows. You can watch the video direct on that page, or you can get it to open up in YouTube. I know many of our friends watch YouTube on their TVs. I was going to say special TVs. What's the
smart
TVs? Special smart TVs. So you can watch there. But there's also a link to the products as well. So it takes you back to all the products that were featured during that particular hour. And also, if there's sort of like a particular arty demo, often when we bring you our Clarity Social TV shows, where there'll be like a little demo, so that you can also go in and download those, save them to your computer, or print them off and put them in a folder. So it gives you that reference that you can go back and look at again. Yeah. Okay.
So I thought, first of all, we would tackle the butterfly tool.
Okay.
So if I go onto the overhead, so here is the pattern.
Okay.
Photographed. Linda, this is the original one that Linda created. So we just photocopied this one and put it in the leaflet.
Yeah.
So you can really see, just let me come in a little bit more. There we go, a bit more. There we are. Whee.
Oh, look at that.
It's really intricate, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's just using the butterfly tool.
That's just one tool, and that is just tipping the iceberg. That is just, you've got so many different designs. I mean, this one's really lovely. It's kind of created just a little rugby ball, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Inside.
It reminds me of like a braided bead bracelet.
It does, doesn't it? It looks really pretty.
Yeah.
So that's just 3 different designs with 3 different types of creations there. So I thought maybe we'd tackle this one.
Okay. And I love those little icons and underneath as well. Yes. I think that's my favourite one, that one.
I know, that's nice, isn't it?
Beautiful. But then saying that, the one next to it, if you didn't have the sprays coming out of it, it looks a little bit like a gem on a ring.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? And then, the little middle part.
Yeah. Like, so you find on Antiques Roadshow.
I know. And then even this one, look, around the border, that would look really lovely, and an inside border.
Yeah.
Maybe going around a square. And if you didn't want to cut it out, then that would look really nice around a square as well, that one. So that's what I thought we would tackle.
Okay. So
we've got our pattern.
Yeah.
Lovely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tumble dry sheet underneath the pattern. So we know where we're going. So we're going to go this one here.
Okay.
And so I've got a little bit of parchment, and I've just created a white box, which you can't see. Well, I can see it. Well, I can't.
You can just see that very faintly. Yes.
So that's how I would just see where, say I wanted a straight line, so I know that I'm keeping on the straight line, I would use that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to line it up like so. And I'm just going to get my little sticker tabs. Very handy for doing this work, the sticker tabs.
And I'm guessing you've already wiped the parchment, haven't you?
I have, yes. Already wiped it front and back.
Okay.
There we go. So now it's in place. I'm going to get my little butterfly tool.
Does that happen to be in your tool holder?
It is,
It
yeah.
is.
I love my tool holder.
Which we launched a week ago last week. And poor Barb and Dave, all over the weekend, they've been making up they've been assembling the tool holders and the stamp pens, because if we have a look at, I'm going to go to, could you press number 4 for me, Louise, just before we get started? So you can see that I'm going to bring those details up for you. There we go. So this is the brand new tool holder for Clarity stamp pens and Pergamano tools. So you can see beautifully, they're great for storing your multi-needle tools, your embossing tools. It holds 12 tools, and Louise has got hers on her desk in front of her. $14.99 plus the relevant club discounts as well, and the item number for that is 31797. So we'll go back to Louise on the overhead.
Lovely. And that's really handy. I've got my Groovi tools in there and all sorts.
It's a good little tool holder, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Anything I can fit in there, it gets put in there now. So I'm just going to grab my Groovi guard. And so, yes, so we're tackling on this one in here.
Okay, and what mats are we working on?
We are working on the Pico foam.
Yeah.
Underneath here. So I'm only using the Pico foam on top of my black mat, which is the hard side.
Okay.
So on top of just a shallow perforating. You don't need to do any deep perforating right now. So let me go in. Just going to do this one line here. So again, with this tool, maybe it might be best to come number 3, maybe.
Hammer number 3, come in.
Come in number 3. There we go. That's better, isn't it? So what I would do is I would line it up like here, so I can see.
Yeah.
So I've got my longest needles on the actual on the pattern. So the outer dots. So where I know that is going to line up when I press down. So then I would come in and then press down. There we go. And that's how I would line it up. So then once you've done the first one, this hole here, I hook my perforating needle into that hole there. And so I've only got to line up then one hole because I know that the other one is already in place.
Right, so Linda has created these patterns so that we haven't got to sort of go freestyle and see what we get.
No, I mean, once you are confident and you've practiced with this handbook, you become more confident, and then you do have that confidence to then go further into, you know, what you can create as well. It just gives you that confidence. It's that starting place. It's like with the other volumes, they give you the you know, the confidence to go, oh, I know how to do that now. I can go and create all my ones. There we go.
Okay.
Just making sure that we're in focus.
This isn't easy. Using a multi-needle tool, trying to work out where you are on the camera.
I know. And all of a sudden you disappear off screen again.
Off the screen. And I'm so engrossed watching what your hand is doing rather than watching the screen. I didn't even notice.
So, I've just got one more of the pattern. There we go. So I've done along one line here.
Okay.
So now I'm going to turn it around. And what I'm going to do first is make sure that because what's going to happen is now is the two, maybe if I come on the overhead to explain it. Oh, hold on. And then come right in. So we've gone down this line using this part of the tool. now we'll come up to the top and we're going down the other way. So we've gone in like this way,
Yeah.
and now we're turning the whole needle round, and so we'll be going down.
So you're going back to back on
Yes.
the butterfly.
And the two smallest holes here, it's gonna go in the same.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, you have to be quite precise with it, because it's if you go quite precise to the pattern, because if not, then the holes are it won't join in.
Because you wouldn't have thought that when you look at that border that Linda has created, that it is that butterfly tool, does it really?
No, it's amazing how you start off with one tool, and that's why if you look at some of the design team cards, when you look at them, you think, oh, what tool's that? Because some of them look similar when they are created the way Linda's showed you in the white work part. So where was I? There we go. So if I go back to number 3,
Yeah.
I'm going to try and make
So is
sure
that position easy for you, or do you turn your work so that you find it more easy?
Normally I would turn my work, but because I think I'm going down towards me still, and all I'm doing is just turning the needle around, I think I can see better.
Right.
Just turning the needle down. But most of the time I would turn my work, so I'd always be able to see the needles and where they're going.
Yeah. You're all right.
Yeah. Hay fever.
I know, it's very warm in here again, so we've got the window open, we've got the fan on, just to try and keep the temperature. It's a lovely sunny afternoon out there.
It is so lovely.
Bank holiday's over, isn't it?
I know. It was a really lovely weekend though.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Groovi card definitely plays a part, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It just holds everything in place. Otherwise, the parchment will come up and then it might jog, and then it might move just even a millimetre when you're doing with this sort of work, a millimetre out, and the holes aren't going to match. So it is really important to make sure that it's kept down firm. So I've gone up to the corner again. So I've gone all the way down this line here.
Yeah.
And so because here I can see there's a kind of a corner design that Linda's done. So as you can see, if I bring it into number 2 here, so it's slightly different. So instead of going along one direction,
yeah,
Linda's just used one tool in the corner here. So I'll show you what I mean.
Oh, you can actually see it on the printed.
Yes, so you can see where, so those 2 dots will line up. If I go on to number 3, move my hand up there. Can we see? There we go. Ta-da. And then that's how Linda would create the corner design.
Oh, I see.
So it's just slightly different. However, you know, if you didn't want to do the corner design, again, there's choices. You don't have to. So what I'll do is I'll just follow this pattern along a little bit, and then we can go into doing the white work.
Okay, is it the pattern just above that one?
This one.
The one above that?
Oh.
When did you say your new glasses were coming, Louise?
Saturday. Well, yeah, that one.
That one there.
It looked the same to me. That's the thing, isn't it?
It is the same. Linda's done the same corner in that one, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so
a nice way of creating that corner.
It is. It just finishes it off. Oh dear.
I'm not looking at the chat, so I'm sure nobody noticed.
Well, that's one part of the pattern done on the other one.
On
then.
the
I
other
don't have
one.
to do that later. There we go. So again, I would then turn the work to do this other border. I'll just do a couple here.
Okay.
So then we can focus on how to do the white work.
Super.
There we go. Is that better?
That's it.
Yay.
And obviously, because I mean, Linda's just given a corner, hasn't she? You could make this as long or as short as you wanted to go around your work.
You could do it around your mini makes.
Ah, yes, it'd be lovely.
Yeah. Perfect for a little tool sampler, aren't they, really?
Yes.
Little mini make.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think they look nice. I'm just doing a couple just to show you the. So then I would turn it round. Make sure I've got the right pattern.
Easily done.
It's having a Louise moment.
We all have a Louise moment.
I know. There we go. So that part's done. So I'm going to put. Oh, hello. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take the pattern away from the parchment.
Yeah.
I can put my Groovi sticker tabs on my tool holder. Another great use.
Good way for keeping your Groovi tabs on the go, isn't it?
It is, really is. So I'm on the soft side.
Yeah.
So let me come out a little bit just for now. Oh, hello.
There we go.
There we go. So as you can see, this is the pattern here. And then I'm going to turn over onto the back.
Okay.
And we're just going to, let me do it this way, then I can work towards me. So I would use just my Groovi tool, 1 or 2. You could use the Pergamano tools if you wanted to. So we are following, I'll put it to the side so we can see. We're doing this one.
That one there.
So let's. Whee!
There we go.
There we go. So at the moment it's you can see that Linda's created just a little rugby ball inside there, and then just joined it with 3 lines there.
Right. Okay.
And that's how she's going to get the finished bit. So what I would do.
Hang on, wait.
Hold on.
It's a Groovi guard. There we go.
Naughty Groovi guard. Hold on.
I think once you bring your hand in, it'll be all right. And focus. No. Let's come out. And then we'll come back in. There we go.
It's like my eyes at the moment. There we go. So we'll just create a bit like a circle, and then I would go up and down, and then across. There we go. And then again. And so once you've created the way that Linda's created it in the sample, then you can have fun and try all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would use my number 1. Join them.
Now, if I was worried about because this is such a small area, isn't it? And especially using the number 1 tool.
You could use the number 2.
I'd be worried about squidging the holes, the backs of the holes.
Yes. So once you've created your white work, what you would then do, you would reperforate.
Right. So that will correct any squidgy holes.
Yes. Any squidgy holes, and the coming back in. Where are we? Coming back in with reperforating will make it look a lot cleaner.
Right. Okay.
So Linda has created the white work, and then she's come back in and reperforated with probably a fine needle, just all the way down, just so that they look all uniform.
Okay.
So maybe coming with our number 2 on this one. And we want to. You can go over several times, as long as you don't press down too hard, because that will tear our perforating holes.
Right. Okay.
And then it will look like a
big hole.
A big hole.
So every time you do the outline, I see an eye, and then you fill the eye in. That's
with eyelashes.
Yes. And then you've got
There's
that
the eyelashes.
shape. Yeah.
Yeah. So once you've done that sort of thing, say for example, on this one, Linda's freehand done some like a large scallop, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So if you wanted to, with this, for example, once you've done that part, you could come in and do a little scallop. If you weren't feeling too, if you were feeling a bit nervous with doing a scallop, you could use our nested scallop plate. I think I've got one here somewhere. Yeah. So then I think it should be, maybe. So we do it on this one down here. So you could join the two dots there and then.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I'd definitely do that.
Yeah, it's easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then that would be, so for example, once you've got in with the two, you could then go in with the one and make it a bit sharper.
Oh, no. I definitely love that idea.
Yeah. So
using the Groovi plate.
So, I mean, that's the good thing about the Groovi plates, is that there's always something somewhere that will create, if you're a little bit nervous about going in freehand and tearing holes, the Groovi, all the Groovi plates will stop that. So
I suppose it just comes with experience, doesn't it? And confidence.
Does. Yeah. So say that's me doing it freehand, and then that's the scallop plate. So, you know, that's a bit more uniform because it's a Groovi plate. Whereas mine, it might, just because of my, my hand, they might not always look similar.
No.
So, and what will happen is if you press too hard, you'll get a little hole. So you have to be ever so careful. So the scallop plate really does come in handy for that sort of, because even if you did squidge the holes down a little bit, you can then go back and come in with the needle tool.
I definitely like that idea.
Yeah. And then you can do it the other side as well.
So that nested scallop square, so that's the A5 nested scallop square plate. There's an item number on the bottom of that, Lou. What item number is that for some of our friends at home?
40557.
There we go. So if you like the look of that, I love that plate.
I know. So I'm always
40557.
Yeah, always using that plate. So yeah, so that's another way of being able to do it.
Yeah.
So so that's following the rugby. So let me go on to the front so we can see. It's just quickly doing. Oh. So we all can see.
We're super zoomed. There we go.
There we go. So yeah, so there's different ways. So Linda's done some sort of little dots. I've done some stripes. So it's all sorts of different ways. Let me go back in. So with Linda's corner, got the little scallop, and then there's nothing stopping us from creating all sorts of different. So it's not exactly the same.
It's unique, isn't it?
It's unique. So you can really have fun with these. I mean, Linda's created just literally a scallop and then a dot in between. But then when, like, for example, following on from what we've done up here, that's, you'd be able to create the little scallop. And then say, for example, if you wanted to then create a little decorative detail in the corner as
You're
well.
getting clever now, Louise.
I
But I like that. Now I can see little eyes peeking out.
I know.
There's a little owl.
There's a little owl. Oh.
Who is it? The lovely Mo.
Looking at you.
The lovely Mo. I'd be doing Groovi Tuesday and we trace something out, and then people could say, oh, I can see this, I can see that. And lovely Mo always used to see something completely random.
Yeah.
And then once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I know, it's very hard to unsee once you do see it.
Yeah. But now that you filled the eyes in, it doesn't. It looks like as if you've cut an apple in half.
Yeah. So say, for example, something different would be to create the lines within the tool, like that.
Yeah.
And then do the white work in the space where you had the...
So that's like the opening between the two antennae, isn't it?
Yes, so you're doing the opposite to the other way that we did. We just finished that bit here. There we go. So, for example,
yeah, I like that.
So that's the white work in the opposite way of that one. So instead of within the little rugby ball, you're doing it in either way.
Oh, I see
either
what
side
you're
of the rugby
saying.
ball, and then we just done the lines across. So it's the same but different.
Yes, I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah,
So
I get
it's
that.
using the same technique as what Linda's used, but just doing it in a different way.
Yeah, just moving the little stripes into the oval.
Yes, and then doing the white work in between the little rugby ball.
Where the little stripes are on the original one.
Yeah. So yeah, so something a little bit different, and then you can have a little scallop.
And this just is one little pattern, isn't it? So you've used that template that's come within that tool guide.
Yeah.
And then you're practicing. You can either replicate exactly what Linda has done, or as Louise is doing, you can then just have a play around. Because at the end of the day, it's a piece of parchment, isn't it?
It is.
And it's getting familiar using those tools.
It is.
Now, if you previously bought the tools and you've maybe mislaid that handy tool guide, it is available on its own. The item number for that is 60221. It is $1.99. If you're a Diamond Club member, you will get your 15% discount, which brings it down to £1.69. However, if you shop over on the Pergamano.com website, that brings it down to £1.39. So maybe you're looking to top up on some of your essentials over on the Pergamano.com website. Then maybe you need some more parchment, or maybe you've been sort of sitting on the fence with this collection of tools. Or maybe you've already got some of the tools previously. I think the lozenge, when we inherited it, I think it was called, did you say it was called the diamond tool?
The diamond,
or I think it had just changed names
just changed
from the diamond to the lozenge when we bought Pergamano back in 2017. So maybe you're thinking, have I got it? Have I not got it? Maybe you know it better as the diamond perforating tool. The lozenge and the diamond perforating tool are exactly the same.
Lovely. So I thought we'd go on to the lozenge now.
Oh, talking of the lozenge.
Or the diamond. Yeah.
That wasn't planned.
I know. See, in the handbook it's lozenge, but on Linda's information here, it's still as a diamond.
So Linda, old school, knew it as the diamond.
Knew it as the diamond. Yeah.
So that's where it's obviously just changed at the time.
It had, yeah. So if I come out a little bit, just while I do this, because it's going to go blurry, isn't it? So we've got our lozenge now.
Yeah.
Photocopy, tumble dry sheet underneath. which helps. So then always, like we were saying earlier, tumble dry the front and the back. Then it's better to be safe than sorry, isn't it? Really,
absolutely.
as well. So, which one would you like me to do?
Oh, can I have a look at the pattern?
Yes.
Let's have a look at the pattern. Oh, see, I quite like this one.
Yeah.
I like that zigzag with the little, if I come in and close on that one. Whee! There we go. See, I like this particular one.
The third one down.
Because it's a combination of straight, but down like that. No, let's go for that one.
This one? Okay.
Yeah, because I think I could do that. See, I wouldn't be good freehand with my scallops. That's where that scallop plate would really help for me.
Yes, that's the good thing about having the Groovi plates, is that they're there to make life easier.
No, definitely. And this is what these patterns from Linda is making life easier as well.
And if it's there, might as well make life easier for yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to be doing this pattern here. So what I'll do is, like I've done before, is I'll start at the top here, work my way down.
Okay.
So I can see coming towards me. So you go on to number
3.
That's all right, isn't it?
There we go.
And we're doing this one. Okay.
So not so many needles in this one, only 4 needles.
No, I haven't got to keep an eye on so many needles. And the good thing is, like we've said before, is there's a little dot here. So you can always keep an eye on where your needles are. There is always a base. So for example, this one is the diamond is long ways to hit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
So that there's the needle there. So you always know that is, the right way.
Yes.
So we're going to go in here. And just a little bit down. And then we're going to go, just follow the pattern down.
So you're not linking on this one, you're just
There's no linking.
There's no linking on that one. Okay.
You've got to rely on just the pattern.
I suppose lining up 4 needles is quite, when I say famous last words, you would think it is easier. So I don't know, is a tool with just 4 needles, would you say it's a little bit more difficult than one that's got a lot more needles, if that sort of makes sense?
I don't think so. I think the thing is, patterns that aren't linking to each other will probably be harder to keep up rather than the ones that link into each other.
Yeah.
So because
maybe that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's if you can hook one needle into the other and it all follows the same, then it's it will be easier. Whereas when you've got a pattern that's a little bit left and right, you have to just make sure that this one won't matter so much because, like you say, the needles are so small that if they were a little bit out, it wouldn't look as out there as if it was a larger tool that was a little bit out.
I get that. Excuse me. And I've noticed on this one, as you say, because you don't have the linkage, it's a little bit more time, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, a little bit more time just to make sure. And because they're not, you're going left and right slightly like this.
Yes.
So you're lining up. If you were going down and down and down, it might be slightly easier, but because you're going diagonally down.
Yes, I see. Yeah.
There we go. So then once I've come down, I would then switch around and then work towards me again.
Okay.
Make sure I've got the right pattern. Okay. I'll just do a little bit over here. So I won't do the whole pattern so we can have some fun.
We're definitely having fun.
Yeah. I think when I get to experiment, I think sometimes that I have a lot of fun when I'm experimenting.
To see the different bits of white work that you can do.
Yeah, to see how many patterns you can get from just the one type of tool work. Okay, so that is that pattern.
Okay.
Let me just take it off. Back in my tool holder.
Tool holder still available. Still currently being made by Barb and Dave. Item number 31797. Let's bring up a full screen on that one while Louise is just sorting that out. Item number 31797, the tool holder for Clarity stamp pens and Pergamano tools, $14.99, made and assembled here at Clarity Towers. And you can see there, perfect for your stamp pens, also made here at Clarity Towers. They've been making them, and Barb's been making them all weekend because of the different heads that have to go on them. And then the image on the right, you can see is perfect for your multi-needle tools, or as Barb and Louise like to call it, it's sort of, it's one of those things that it's a project holder as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Barb was talking about that the other day, that if she's using it with those lovely Build a Reef stamps and she knows, right, I want to use this one and that, she can load up that tool caddy and then, right, I can do this one, I can do that one, I can do that. And so Louise is doing exactly the same. Look, we can't see Louise's one. Louise has hers
got wings,
fully loaded. He's got the Groovi tabs on there. She's got a Groovi tool in there as well. Excuse me for reaching across. So it is. So Louise knew exactly what tool she was going to be using during this session. So she just loaded that up. So it's easy rather than rooting around in your pink bag or depending on how you store them. So they're a great little addition. And what I like about it, not many. I know when I had my workspace at home, I had it was like a kitchen worktop. So I had a kitchen worktop in my craft studio. It was a garage that was converted, but it wasn't very deep. So that's something like that I could have in a long row in front of me.
That's the good thing about these, is that you can, if I know a lot of our lovely ladies and gentlemen have a couple of them. So
really?
So you can store them next to each other, so have them in a square or have them long ways.
Yeah.
If you've got, haven't got a lot of space, for example, at home, like, plus my desk is never very tidy at home.
Spoken like a true crafter.
I know. So it gets tidied occasionally, but then I start crafting and it goes wrong again. But these are perfect because they're not too big.
No.
I'd have it up against the wall. And then what I would do is when I'm using something, say, for example, prep work, I would put the tools in there once I finish with them. And so I know what tools I've used.
Not where on the desk is it? I think we need to do a caddy for Groovi guards. Because we can never find our Groovi guard.
I know, I was thinking that over the weekend. I was like, where's my Groovi guard? Happens occasionally.
Okay, so we've done that lovely perforating on that pattern. That was using the lozenge tool.
The lozenge, yes. Okay. So say I'm going to go back down here. Here we are. Yeah, so that's our pattern.
In on that one. So, I mean, just perforated, that just focuses. There we go. See, I like that, just perforated as well.
Yes, it looks nice, doesn't it? Very delicate.
Yeah.
So when we're going onto the back again.
Okay.
So the sharp, you can feel it.
Prickly side.
Prickly side. So we're going to create this one here.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do a little bit of white work using the number 2, I would. So a little bit like if you were in I think on Groovi Tuesday we were doing like little white work within the little 4 needle tool.
Oh yes.
So it's more or less exactly the same, but it's just slightly
it's a squinted
slanted,
one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so same thing really, just doing a little bit of white work in here.
It's mesmerizing to watch.
It is.
And it is when you turn it over and you get that little reveal.
It is, yeah. So that is without the little design in the middle.
Yeah.
So
And as we said, if you squish the holes, you can re-perforate and it will reinstate them.
exactly, yes. So I would probably, I'll show you the number 2 and then I'll show you the number 1.
Okay.
So for example, Linda has come across here. Let me just see where she's come, and then she goes down here. Okay. So this is the number 2 I'm using. There we go. So that's how Linda's come down across. You can see here. Oh. Let's just get Linda's in first. Yeah, so she's coming right across there and then come down
created
into
that zigzag.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how I've...
So it's created a nice corner then, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. Just created that nice little corner there and then come down like... Just following... So yeah, I would say the number 2 is probably a good one to go for.
Yes, that's lovely.
Yeah, I think the number 1 would probably be a little bit too sharp, I'd say. If you wanted a slimmer line, you could. You can see quite a big difference. It's quite...
Yeah.
It's a lot thinner.
I like the number 2.
I like the number 2 too. I like the number 2 too.
Number 2 too.
I'll just get back in with my number 2 a little bit to thicken the line. So once you've done that, for example, there's nothing stopping you from then, for example, like we was doing before. Again, if I bring in the scallop plate, and I kind of created so again, instead of going freehand, oh, I don't want to have a look at those. So again, you're using the little scallop. So that's in case you didn't want to, use it. And then, so that's another thing that you can do with the pattern.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see, and then obviously you could use you could join the kind of that section with that section.
Yeah.
So that's something different. Is there?
It looks like a twisted braid, doesn't it?
It does.
I suppose that outer scallop, if you'd done that closer to the points, like how you've done the inner part,
yeah,
it would look like a twisted braid, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. So say you wanted it a little bit closer as well, so you've got a double line around the outside. It's a bit like a moon.
Oh yeah.
So up here. There.
I think this is a good idea. You take the patterns that Linda's provided and you just do the perforations. And maybe for the first time, you follow exactly what Linda has done.
Yes.
And then do it again, do the perforating again, and then see what you can come up with. Maybe you're going to sort of twist, maybe you're going to go with some of the initial design from Linda, just like Louise has done on that piece, creating that zigzag. But then all of a sudden it's changed the look of it by adding a scallop.
Exactly. So it just becomes wider as well. So you can add all sorts of different things, or you can just keep it as nice and simple by just even just this inside looks really lovely.
Yeah.
You can join these up.
Joining them up dot to dot.
Yeah, join dot to dot. There we go. So that's we're joining it up. So really, once you've had a play, you've done Linda's. there's just so many different things. You know, you could create a little dot in there.
So once you've finished your perforating, you've finished your white work, how would we then go about in reperforating?
So once you've done all that sort of little bits and pieces,
Yeah.
then I've got the Pico foam here. I think that should be enough really to deep perforate in, because it's these are fine needles, so you won't need to go to perforate too much into it. So then you would just, let me go on to number 3 for you, sorry. There we go. I'm using the Groovi guard just to hold it in place.
So you're just using the one needle fine?
Yes. You don't need to go all the way down, just enough to reperforate, because what happens is, like we were saying earlier, is the holes kind of squidge together.
Yeah. Can we do half and half, Lou, and have a look on the overhead, just as a comparison? So you've done half of that.
I've done this bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we look on the overhead, just as a comparison in relation to the sides, look, you can definitely see.
Yeah. So once it's done, then the reperforating really just finishes off the design, because a lot of the time you reperforate so finely that there's only a suggestion sometimes of the dots, just so that you can create all of that nice white work inside. But yeah, so it really does make a big difference there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing the difference it does make, because you think we've already perforated with the multi-needle tool, which is a fine needle. All of our multi-needle tools are fine needles, with the exception of the 2 and the 4 needle bold.
Yes.
And so then to reperforate, you've used the 1 needle fine. And what a difference it makes.
Even go, for example, here. Can you see here? Just go in like quickly here. See next door to the other one.
Yeah.
So that one's done and that one's not. So it really does finish off.
It's definitely worth spending the time, isn't it? So if you're looking at your artwork and you're thinking, that doesn't look anything like Linda's, or it doesn't look quite like what Louise has showed us. So that really is a key point, isn't it? To go back in and reperforate.
Yes, definitely. It just finishes it off, really. You just go around here. Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I can't believe where that hour's
I
gone.
Crazy.
It really does. And
it goes so quickly.
Now with Groovi Tuesday, you're in the real flow of that now. How does the time? It does.
I just start blurbering, making lots of chitter chatter. Everybody kind of, chats as well. But before you know it, the hour's gone. And you think, where did that time go?
Absolutely. So thank you for joining us. Thank you to the lovely Grace helping out in the chat room. We didn't manage to see any of the chat because we was concentrating on what Louise was doing. So just have a bit of a recap. The item on your screen, item number 70486. You can put that item number into either the pergamano.com website, where there is 30% off up until the end of April. Alternatively, you can buy from the claritycrafts.com website, and if you're a club member, you'll get your discount. On the pergamano.com website, if you spend over £50, we will automatically give you a free gift of a pack of 20 sheets of A5 parchment.
Perfect for practicing.
Perfect for practicing or not. And that offer runs up until the end of April, which isn't that far off, really. I don't know where April's gone.
I know, it's gone so quickly.
And then currently on the claritycrafts.com website, Easter promotion is still in place on our fresh cut dies. If you go to the front page, you'll see a banner that says Clarity Fresh Cut Dies. The majority of our fresh cut dies are only £3. Some of them have got a £12 saving, some have got near enough a £20 saving. So if you've been thinking about maybe I want to give that, because our fresh cut dies are perfect for die cutting parchment as well.
They are, yes.
There's a lovely set on there, the lace frames. There's a set of lace frames taken from some Groovi plates.
Yes, they
They
nice
work
now.
beautifully with your parchment craft as well.
I bought some of those today, actually.
Did you?
Yeah. My lunch break. I bought some dies.
So that offer runs up until midnight tonight. There's no further club discount. I mean, obviously at £3. So maybe after you've watched this, you want to have a quick look over on the website. I'm sure Gracie has popped up a link direct to that section for you. So don't forget the tool holder still available, 31797, £14.99. Barb brought in a great box of them that she's assembled just from yesterday.
Oh wow.
So we've just got to wrap those up and get those boxed and get those put onto the orders that are just waiting for those items. Dave's still making the stamp pens. So if you're waiting for those, they shouldn't be too much longer. Thank you as always to the lovely Louise.
Thank you, Paul.
So don't forget, on Thursday it's back in the shack with Barb. I think you may be moving on to W for the alphabet. I'm not sure. Last week was a lovely tribute to the beautiful Pat Hoskin.
That was lovely.
That was absolutely, absolutely stunning artwork from Pat. So yeah, Thursday at 7 o'clock in the shack with Barb and Grace all the way in New York. And then on Friday, 10 and 2 with Deborah Wheeler and myself. And she's got a few tricks up her sleeve. More masculine we're going.
Nice.
So we're going sporty, we're going gnomes, we're going royal gnomes. Because obviously V-Day is coming up at the beginning of next month as well. So maybe you'll have a look at those. There might be something there if you're there's like a lovely bunting stamp and everything else.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I hope you can join us. Enjoy the rest of your day. I think that's it.
Thanks, Paul.
And we'll see Louise back again on Tuesday. Tuesday for Groovi Tuesday. Continuing that journey.
Yay.
Take care now.